Welcome to Will Read. My name is Will. Today I'm reading The Rag and Bone Shop of the Heart by Robert Bly, James Hillman, and Michael Meade. The second layer: anger, hatred, outrage. If you are never angry, then you are unborn. African proverb, Bassa tribe. If the first layer of human interaction is the common ground of manners, kind speech, polite greeting, and working agreements, if the third layer is the area of deeply shared humanity, the universal brotherhood and sisterhood of all people, of the underlying fundamental oneness of human love, justice, and peaceful coexistence, the second layer is the territory of anger, hatred, wrath, rage, outrage, jealousy, envy, contempt, disgust, and acrimony. It is the via negativa, the field of conflict, the plain of discord, the hills of turmoil, and the second layer always exists between the first layer and the third. All three layers are necessary for a society to continue, for a relationship to endure, for an individual to persist. The first layer is the immediate area of surface courtesies that make life in passing possible. Without this overlay, the simplest tasks of survival could not be accomplished. We reinforce the daily social world by the common greeting, "How are you?" followed by the appropriate first layer answer, "Fine," and the concluding blessing, "Well, have a nice day." What is being stated is not truth, but the attempt to reinforce the basic agreements of society and the relationships within it. This layer is dedicated to the simple harmony of status quo. "How are you?" is not a penetrating request for soul-searching. "Fine" is not a well-reflected self-evaluation. "Have a nice day" is not a deeply emotional prayer intended to alter an individual's fate. The clue to the ritual of courtesy is the word nice. The first layer is constantly converting things to right on, thumbs up, okay, nice. I may wish that I didn't have to see you at all, but I say, "How are you?" You may be feeling that if one more thing goes wrong, you begin pouring hot coffee over the feet of anyone who approaches you at all, but you answer, "Fine." We may each wish all the bad karma, all the pigeon droppings, and all the wrong turns of a lifetime on the other, but we each say, "Have a nice day." We know that the decency of the first layer must be kept intact most of the time for the sake of social survival. The first layer doesn't have to carry true emotions, hard-learned insights, or personality or personal authenticity. But if an individual or a society stays only in the surface layer of life, a huge shadow starts to grow in the second layer. The third layer is the province of deep unity with all things and with the great themes and images of life. Without some experience of the third layer, we die. Societies, alliances, relationships, and individual souls must occasionally fall into these pools of unity, or else they dry out or blow up. When we fall in love, it's the ground of the third layer we fall upon. In this country, all you need is love, and love is all there is, or finally, justice is served and the wrongs are righted, and for a moment all is right with the world. The third layer is where the unifying images of God exist, where prayers are answered, where healing mends the wounds of life, where peace becomes real and contagious. Visualize world peace as a third layer bumper sticker, so our Jesus loves you and this car stops for ducks. We all want to be in the warmth and peace of the third layer. All utopias reside in the third layer. We mount great efforts to get there through meditation and prayer, through working at relationships, through great social movements. We can sit there rent-free and see how it was all worth it. In the clear skies and fresh air of the third layer, we can truly forgive the insults, punishments, and injustices heaped upon us. Here at the depths, a rare stream of humor cleanses the old wounds and makes our eyes bright for life. Here's the bad news. The third layer is constantly moving its location. It's not to be found today where it was yesterday. We can go through the motions, exactly repeating everything that previously got us to that state of peace, love, bliss, and we get nowhere. We return to places where we fell deep into love and find the view obscured by a new factory. The romantic restaurant has been replaced by a fast food joint. We bow in all directions, say the prayers just as before, but there's no sense or sight of God. We come up empty. The third layer is mysterious, unpredictable, leaves no forwarding address. The first layer is always in the same place. It's predictable, it's certain, superficially certain. like a sidewalk or a sign. But the signs in the second layer say, beware of the dog, shit happens, get a life, up your day. The second layer says, I can't take it anymore, I won't stand for it, I've had enough. The second layer sends postcards from hell, greetings from the underworld. How about a nice special delivery order of rage pie, a fillet of hatred, a salad of jealousy, a side of envy, a plate of wrath? It is a stove that seethes with an adverse, acidic, acrid, avaricious, acrimonious, angry stew. It bubbles with feelings, emotions, and indelible attitudes we'd rather not have, wouldn't choose, and shouldn't express. Movements beneath the surface can be minor tremors that rattle a few dishes and then subside, or can be earthquakings that shatter, rend, and collapse whatever has been built up above. If a major fault is involved, a volcanic eruption can spew deep-core hot magma to the surface, melting, burning, swallowing whole areas of the first layer. It is better that the volcano vent steam, or should it be corked. The population of the second layer includes a high percentage of giants, hags, trolls, boxers, bears, street criminals, cops, vultures, gargoyles, streetwalkers, and outraged motorists. The sidewalks are cracked, the stores are closed, the lights don't work, and there is no one who'll listen to you. When people avoid entering this territory, they begin attracting shadowy figures who will one day explode into their life. Or, like a TV evangelist, they are compulsively drawn to the figures of the night. Cultures that try to shut out the second layer wind up with overcrowded prisons, high crime rates, huge black markets, and finally, riots in the streets. There's more bad news. The only way out of the first layer, the only way to break the spell of niceness when it has shifted from ensuring life's continuance to insulting life's purpose, is to enter the turmoil of the second layer. Furthermore, and don't blame this on me, the only way to find the next location of the third layer is by traversing the battle-scarred, dog-infested terrain of the second layer. The following poems are letters from the second layer. Some of the messages may shock or burn in the hand, but as Claude McKay says, my being would be a skeleton, a shell, if this dark passion did not forever feed me vital blood. Strange as it may seem, without the irrational fires in the second layer, activity on the first level would freeze up, and everything on the third level would be shrouded in a mist so rare and white that not one thing could be discerned from another. Unpleasant ideas and words inhabit each of these poems. They don't seek agreement or approval. They permeate the history of poetry the way that dark and fierce emotions permeate our lives. All emotions have a purpose, as Yeats finds in anger and hate a light that shows how soul may walk when all such things are past. Emily Dickinson, in Not Turning Away from the Rough Terrain, finds the palate of the hate departs. Anger, as soon as fed, is dead. 'Tis starving makes it fat. MJM.